What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Speedy Speaks. Now, we got some issues today to talk, or an issue today to talk about. Global warming, climate change, climate disaster. I don't know. Call it whatever you want. Look, let me give you some of my perspective on this. First, we started out with global warming. Then we had a bunch of snow, and they went to a focus group and figured out, well, that term doesn't necessarily fit. And a lot of people aren't jumping on that bandwagon. So let's call it climate change. Yes, those of us with half a brain, we all understand that climate does change. I remember back in the 70s, every time it snowed, people thought we were going in an ice age because the snows were 2, 3, 4 feet deep here in the mid-Atlantic area. So, we know the climate changes. Something killed off the dinosaurs. Wonder what that could have been. But of course, today, climate change is the new religion. And if you don't support it, the tolerant people will not tolerate you. I mean, there are climatologists who say this is just normal stuff. The earth cycles over a certain amount of years. You get some cold, it'll flip back to hot. But those climatologists and scientists, when they do speak out, are often, if they're getting government funded or funding from some big company that gives out grants, they usually cancel. But this is, so let's talk about today. We have President Joe Biden, first thing in office, killed the Keystone Pipeline. And people were like shocked. Well, don't be shocked. Remember a then candidate, Joe Biden, when asked about getting rid of fossil fuels, he said, oh, we would do it by like 2030 or some year like that, something in that realm. And he was pushed on it a little bit by a reporter. And they were asking, well, how are you going to just get rid of fossil fuel? And he looked straight at the camera and goes, we'll just work it out. Look, then candidate Biden said he would get rid of fossil fuels, try to play to the green people. First thing, he killed Keystone Pipeline, making leases and permits a little harder to execute. Also shrunk a lot of the property that was available to drill on. And a lot of those places were the places that most of the people who drill for oil know oil is. Also, another thing to think about, before President Biden got in office, we were pretty much energy independent. We were good. Gas prices were perfect. Nobody was complaining about it. We were pumping as much oil as we could with the fracking and the other things that we do. He got in office and gas prices, just went through the roof. Now you can, of course, blame it on Putin. You can blame it on this and that. Look, I mean, every poll that I've seen, and I look at a lot of them, show that the people aren't buying that. They're not buying what Joe is selling. Now, Joe has gone out of his way to badmouth the fossil fuel industry here, coal, and he didn't like nuclear. Most of the greenies don't. But, they're all promoting, let us go buy the Holy Grail, the EV, the electric vehicle. Now here's my take. I don't dislike electric vehicles. I think Teslas and the like are interesting vehicles. I mean, I'm a technology guy. That's my background. So I think that the cool factor is pretty high. I would love to own a Tesla myself. I think they're neat cars. I like the technology. Not because it's green, because it's not. But these same people who are pushing, oh, you all need to go buy electric vehicles, these are the same limousine liberal type folks, your John Kerrys of the world, flying around in private jets everywhere, which, hey, look, if you can afford to do it, God bless you, because I'm not a hater. So if you can roll like that, peace to you, and keep rolling like that. I hope you do it as long as you want to. But you get these people who are pushing us to this EV thing, all while you're hearing people like in California and some states out in the Midwest saying that we need to cut back on energy consumption, turn your air conditioning down. But at the same time, go buy an EV so you can charge it, knowing that the load EVs will put on your bill monthly will be quite high. But I mean, all that logic aside, people get caught up in their feelings, get caught up in their emotions. The bottom line is emotions they aren't worth their weight in salt. They're not. So then you got President Biden going overseas to get the Saudis and others. Oh, could you please, kind sir, could you please pump more oil and ship it all the way across the oceans so that we can have some? When we were doing just fine until you stuck your finger in the soup, man. We were fine. We had gasoline was cheap. And for those of you who don't follow economics, and some of us don't, and I understand, as fuel prices go up, everything goes up. Everything. Because whatever you buy in the store most likely had to get there by truck. Diesel fuel's through the roof. I remember when diesel fuel was cheaper than gasoline. Not the case today. So, I mean, this is my issue here. You cut off your nose to spite your face. With no Keystone Pipeline, I'm going to cut back on this and that. And fossil fuel companies are going the way of the wayside. They're going to get rid of them. And then the same breath, oh, I'm going to fly over to Saudi and ask those folks, could you pump more oil for us, please? I mean, look, I don't care whether you like Biden or not. That's not the point here. The point is common sense. And what he just did showed no common sense. You want to preach all this green stuff. We need to save the world and all of that. So we're not going to drill on our side of the rock, but we're going to go over there and ask those folks to drill on their side of the rock. And here's the difference. When we drill for oil and other, whatever, oil or natural gas, whatever it is here in the United States, we have a lot of rules. So we have to try to, we have things in place, scrubbers and filters and things, so we can do this as cleanly as possible. Those other countries that he's going to beg for more oil from don't live by those same standards. So my whole point is this. Let us just look at things from a common sense perspective. They're putting us in a bad spot. And what it does, when you push this green stuff, you're trying to force it on people. It's bad. People can barely afford gasoline, but we want you to go buy a $60,000 EV. Well, we'll give you, $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 kickback from it. Where do you think these kickbacks come from? Taxes. The whole thing stinks of high heaven. And maybe what I'll do, the next video I'll do will be a video to explain why so-called green cars are not green. I think that needs to be in the video all by itself, and I will do that. So in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, share the video. We're trying to get this channel to grow. It's been a long time since I started doing videos regularly. I'm back. I got the time now to do it. So we're going to do it. And with your help, I need your help so we can grow this channel and make it something special. But, whatever your opinions are, let's talk about them down in the comments. If you agree with me, that's fine. If you don't, I'm not offended. We all have different views and opinions, and we should all be able to express them without getting stoned or some craziness. So, again, I just want to say thank you all for watching. And remember, Speedy speaks, and so should you.